Imagine volunteering for a mission knowing, with near certainty, that you will never see Earth again. No second chances. No coming home. Just a one-way ticket to a frozen, airless rock 140 million miles away. This isn't science fiction. This is the reality of going to Mars. And the deeper you look, the clearer it becomes. The first humans to set foot on the red planet may be the last humans to ever leave it. So why? Why is a return trip so close to impossible? And who, in their right mind, would go anyway? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about the sheer scale of what we're dealing with. Because most people have no idea just how far Mars actually is. At its closest point, Mars is about 34 million miles from Earth. That sounds manageable, right? But here's the thing. Planets move. By the time a spacecraft actually makes the trip, the average travel distance is closer to 140 million miles. That journey takes between 6 and 9 months. One way. Now here's where it gets really dark. You can't just leave Mars whenever you feel like it. Earth and Mars only align in a way that makes the return trip possible once every 26 months. Miss that window, you're waiting another 2 years. On Mars, with whatever supplies you have left. So before a single astronaut even lands, the clock is already ticking. Getting to Mars is hard. Getting back from Mars is a completely different level of hard. To launch off of Earth, rockets need to fight against our planet's strong gravitational pull. Mars has less gravity, only about 38% of Earth's. So launching from the surface requires less fuel. That part sounds like good news. But here's the brutal reality. You have to carry all that return fuel with you from Earth. Every extra kilogram of fuel you bring adds weight, which requires more fuel to carry, which adds more weight. Engineers call this the tyranny of the rocket equation. And it is exactly as ruthless as it sounds. The math becomes almost impossible. To send humans to Mars and bring them back safely, you'd need a spacecraft so large and so heavy that, with our current technology, it borders on fantasy. Some engineers have proposed manufacturing rocket fuel on Mars using its atmosphere, a process called in situ resource utilization. It's a genuinely brilliant idea, but it requires equipment that works perfectly in an alien environment with no repair shop nearby. One failure in that system, and the return trip disappears. Now let's talk about something even more unsettling. What the journey does to the people making it. The trip to Mars exposes astronauts to cosmic radiation at levels that would be unacceptable on Earth. Without the protective shield of our atmosphere and magnetic field, the human body absorbs radiation that dramatically increases the risk of cancer and can cause serious damage to the brain and nervous system. Studies on astronauts aboard the International Space Station have already shown alarming effects from extended time in space, vision problems, bone density loss, muscle deterioration, and cardiovascular stress. And those astronauts were only a few hundred miles above Earth, with the option to return quickly if something went wrong. On a Mars mission, there is no emergency evacuation. There is no quick return. If your body starts breaking down somewhere between Earth and Mars, you ride it out. And then, if you somehow survive the journey and spend 18 months on the Martian surface waiting for the launch window, your body has been so weakened by low gravity, radiation, and isolation that the physical demands of relaunch, the return trip, and re-entry back to Earth may simply be too much to survive. The human body, quite literally, might not make it back. We haven't even touched the psychological dimension yet, and it might be the most haunting part of all. Mars is at its farthest 24 light minutes away from Earth. That means if you send a message home, you wait up to 48 minutes for a reply. No real-time conversations. No calling your family. No scrolling through social media. Just silence, delay, and the crushing awareness of how alone you truly are. Psychologists who study isolation say that long-term confinement in extreme environments can lead to depression, paranoia, interpersonal conflict, and cognitive decline. Studies from simulated Mars missions, where volunteers lived in isolated habitats for months, showed serious psychological strain even without the actual danger. Now put those same people in a real spacecraft with real consequences, knowing they may never come back. The psychological weight of that realization is something no amount of training can fully prepare you for. People are actually lining up to go. SpaceX has spoken openly about Mars colonization. NASA is actively developing crewed Mars mission plans. Private organizations have asked for volunteers fully aware of the risks, and thousands of people have raised their hands. Why? Because some humans are wired for this. Because the survival of our species, long-term, likely depends on becoming multiplanetary. Because someone, eventually, has to be first. The people who go to Mars may never come home. They will face radiation, starvation risk, equipment failure, psychological collapse, and the very real possibility of dying alone on an alien world. But they will also be the most extraordinary human beings who ever lived. The people who looked at the impossible and said, "That's exactly why I'm going." The question isn't really whether we can go to Mars. The question is whether we're ready to accept what it truly costs. If this video made you think differently about space exploration, or about what humans are capable of, hit that like button and subscribe. Every week we dig into the science and stories that make you see the world and the universe differently. Drop a comment below. Would you go to Mars knowing you'd never come back? I'll see you in the next one.